Our next guest is Jessica Hundley, who is a filmmaker, and she's also the author of a Library of Esoterica of Taschen. You probably know these amazing books, beautiful books. It's an encyclopedia of esoterica. Jessica, please, the stage is yours. Thank you so much for coming. Podium. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to get on the podium because I feel like I want to proselytize. Thank you, Brian, for that. So much of what I personally have been working on with the Library of Esoterica is very much aligned to a lot of what Brian just walked you through. The Library of Esoterica, for those that are not familiar, is an encyclopedia series. It is predominantly visual. Taschen is an art book publisher, exploring esoteric traditions. And Tarot is our first book, astrology, witchcraft, and our new book is Plant Magic. The reason why we wanted to put these books out in the world is all of those 4 traditions I just mentioned are ways to connect to source and connect to self. They are tools. They have been hidden in arcane language, steeped in academia or deep scholarly thinking in a way that is not accessible to everyone. One of the things that I wanted to do was to convey these ideas in a way that felt modern, in a way that felt inclusive, introductory, and also visual. I do have a little slideshow. I don't know if that's working. But so plant magic. Plants are this incredible way to connect to the earth, to ourselves. We are symbiotic. We are part of nature ourselves. And they are teachers, and we need to listen. I'm going to just sort of read. The book explores the history of plants and people, and where we started and where we are now. And you'll be seeing here all the different ways that we've utilized plants, cacti, fungi, trees in myths and religions, in healing modalities, in the search for consciousness and connection to spirit. I'm just going to start a little bit. I'm going to read you a little bit from the beginning of the book, the history of the book, the history section. The spiraling form of a flower painted by prehistoric hand on a cave wall, the distinctive shape of a mushroom carved carefully into ancient stone. The history of people in the natural world is a symbiotic one, a vast and intertwining evolution. Plants and other species, such as mushroom and fungi, were some of the very first living beings on Earth. Terrestrial growth is thought to have appeared at least 430 million years ago. Plants were here before us. They evolved and helped us to evolve. The first land plant is the Cooksannia, which fossilized remains have been found dating back to what's known as the Singerian area, and evolving out of water, birthed by algae, making their way to dry soil. Plants, mushrooms, trees, and flowers were the essential elements in the formation of our own human existence, forming the air we breathe, the foods we eat to grow, survive, and thrive. You know, plants, obviously, nature is nourishment. Nature is healing. Nature is a way we provide sustenance to ourselves. It's a way that we grow, and it's also a way that we heal. You know, herbal, one of the first things we learned in early civilizations was using plants for medical purposes, using plants to cure and to help people through pain. And, you know, one of the most influential books, the Materia de Medica, was written by the Greek physician Dioscorides in about 50 AD. And the Ebers Papyrus from 1550 BCE is an Egyptian papyrus that has incredible, still current medical herbal knowledge, written on papyrus, written on paper, which is a plant, with ink that was made from the soot of trees. Literally, the pages we write on would not exist. The way we use language and words would not exist without our communication and listening and interaction with nature. One of the most early and important works about medical herbal knowledge was written by a wonderful, fascinating abbess, Hildegard von Bingen. She was a medieval abbess. She was a healer. She was an incredible composer and musician. And she created countless works of art as well. She was an artist. She wrote on botany. She wrote on medical plants. She wrote on healing practices. She wrote a 9-volume natural history documenting animals, minerals, as well as plants. It was entitled Physica. It still exists, and you can read it. Incredible book. She also, as an abbess, really truly believed that nature was God. She wrote, and this is in 1098, she wrote, "Gaze at the beauty of the green earth. The truly holy person welcomes all that is earthly. The earth should not be injured. The earth should not be destroyed. There is music of heaven in all things. The word is living, being, spirit, all verdant, greening, all creativity." So this is something that, again and again, as Brian was saying, we have this access to this incredible wisdom that will help guide us into the next phase of our existence. And we've been talking a lot today about AI, but I want to talk about natural intelligence and what the earth can teach us in order to balance this technology that we've been given. When Brian said, get off your screens, it's like everything that we're afraid of, everything that we're inundated with, everything that's coming at us with technology, literally throw the phone in the trash and it's not there anymore. Put your feet on the ground, touch the soil, connect with each other. That's the way that we balance these technologies, and we help to move forward as a human civilization. Hildegard von Bingen sort of speaks a lot to this plants not only as nurturer, but plants as spirit. And in every culture around the world, nature is indelibly woven into our rituals, our religions, our myths. There's the pomegranate, the lotus, coming from the deep muck of the mud and growing through the water up and blossoming into enlightenment. There's these analogies that have been existing with us for all time. We also use nature to learn. We use plants as conduits. We use peyote, mushroom, ergot. We use cannabis. all of these are ways to tap in, not just to source and to spirit, but also to ourselves. And really, you know, communicating with nature, being one with nature, finding ways of building ritual, building connection, spending time with the earth, spending time in our bodies and not just in our heads. All of these are so powerful. And if we listen, there's so much knowledge in the natural world around us and in our bodies, and the way that we feed ourselves, the way that we interact with the world, and how we interact with ourselves, and realizing who we are. And one of the most powerful things, and one of the things that Brian is talking about as well, is this idea of plant magic, psychedelic experiences. One of the things that is a shared experience with anyone that has gone through any of these rituals or rites or ceremonies is the realization that we are all interconnected. The web of life, the feeling of love, of pure and boundless love. All of these are what the plants teach us. Always, not just in psychedelic experience, but it's what nature teaches us always, what the plants are always showing us. And, you know, we see all these wonderful legacy of rites and rituals involving plant medicines and cacti and fungus, the peyotes, cactus being such an incredible plant as well. We have all of these histories, and really, they all are saying the same thing. They all are guiding us into the realization that we are interconnected and that we are love, and that is the knowledge, that is the self, that is the spirit, that is the God, right? So, you know, to me, it is a balance. We live in an incredible time. I mean, I should say, first of all, it's incredible to be here. We have all gone through 3-4 years of shared collective trauma. We have not been able to connect with each other in real life. We haven't been able to be together in a room, and that also is important. AI doesn't know the joy of falling in love. You know, AI doesn't know the joy of being in a circle together, the power of human bodies in a sacred circle, the power of the transcendent moment in an ayahuasca ceremony or a mushroom trip where you see the truth. You see the truth, and the truth is that we are interconnected, that we are love. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm giving you a very California moment here, I know. But I am also from the East Coast. I was born and raised on the East Coast, and I feel like I balance that yang with my Cali girl yin. In California particularly, one of the things that I really appreciate about California is that it is particularly about Los Angeles, it is a place where it's a city built on a creative, collaborative industry. It is a community of people who are thinking creatively and collaborating in that thinking. And it's also very, very open. It's called the visionary state, California, in a lot of respects. It's very open to thinking about new modalities, new spiritualities. We, on the West Coast, particularly Washington, Oregon, and Colorado, mushrooms are legal. psychedelic therapy is very much becoming something that's being talked about a lot, particularly on the West Coast of the US. So, me saying, we are all love is the truth. It's saying it maybe in a new age hippie way, but I think I'm speaking to the converted with this beautiful audience. With the series, and I'll have books upstairs and you'll be able to see them, we went to archives, libraries, museums. We work with the Biblioteca here in Paris. We work with the British Museum. We work with the Morgan Library in New York. Archives that are holding esoteric art, and we then collect those and kind of put them together to show how we express all these traditions visually. Which brings me to sort of what plants also are, nature also is muse, is creative muse. And, throughout time we have been exploring the mythologies and the energies and the gifts of the natural world through our art for thousands and thousands of years. And so the books really try to convey these tools, like I said, in these inclusive introductory ways, but also allow people to learn and communicate visually through a symbolic language, through the alchemy of creativity, taking thought and putting it into form, taking an idea and creating a painting, a music composition, a film. That is the true magic. That is what we can do as humans, is we can take what we think and put it into form and share it with each other. So these images you're seeing are only, each of the books has about 800-900 images, and they are both ancient art, and some of the greatest pieces in the books are from young Instagram influencer artists who are making amazing works as well. And we can put a Rembrandt next to a South Korean illustrator who's 23 years old, and they are all speaking the same language. They're talking about the same thing. I just want to read now the sort of introduction to the book as my kind of outro here. This is really kind of the mission statement of the book itself, of the Plant Magic book, and a sort of mission statement for the series in general, which is finding a way to connect to yourself and connect to source is key. It's the only way we can evolve. And we have been given this incredible amount of wisdom and tools, and it is about finding what you connect with and what works for you, the non-religion religion. Whether it's in witchcraft, we explore pagan rituals, the Druidic who worship trees, the hoodoo and voodoo of the Caribbean, all the different ways that we explore ritual. Astrology, how we connect to the heavens and the planets, how we are connected to the phases of the moon. Tarot, which is this incredible archetype map that helps us to understand ourselves. All of these are tools, and they should be explored, and they have been hidden for a long time, in part because whoever knocked the mushroom out of the hands of the beautiful urn at the Louvre, because to give people this knowledge is to give us the power to find ourselves and to find our own voices and to find out who we are as individuals and to realize that we are all interconnected. And this is a really powerful thing that, the man doesn't want you to know how to do. So that's really sort of what we're trying to do with these books, and I'm really happy to be able to share this with everyone here. And I'll just end with a little bit of this introduction of the book. We live in an era of isolation and disconnection. Our screens a surrogate for bodily experience, a two-dimensional world slowly replacing our immersion in the living, breathing, material realm. Our time online replaces our time in nature, our hands in warm soil or tracing the rough edges of tree bark, our feet sunk into soft grass or stepping through a pine needle path, above us, bright sun streaming through a stained glass canopy of green. We have become separated by industrial and technological revolutions from the wild and growing things, cast out from Eden, not through an act of original sin, but of our own volition. Look around, eyes open, and one soon realizes that we remain in the garden. The earthly delights are not hidden behind high walls, but instead wait just outside our door. The hope is to plant the seed of awakening, providing a reminder to open ourselves up once again to the natural realm, to the plants, cacti, fungi, flowers, and trees that heal and sustain us. We explore the symbolism, the ceremony, and our ritual relationships to the botanical worlds. We try and trace the historical roots of plants and fungi and myth, religion, and magical practices around the globe. And we celebrate botanicals as muse, both in popular culture and in the visionary art inspired by psychoactive plants, cacti, and mushrooms. Nature, in her generosity, offers us potent medicines, nourishing foods, and restorative spiritual, mental, and emotional sustenance. By exploring the history of our relationship with the natural world, we find traces of our lost selves, our own stories threaded through the myths of ancient deities once worshipped by our ancestors. And as we begin again to comprehend our deep and symbiotic connection with Mother Earth, the hope is that we will listen to and learn from her, and therefore become better and more gentle stewards, nurturing the environment that in turn nurtures all life on this planet. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the organizers of this amazing magical space and to all the other incredible people here. It's really an incredible experience.
Thank you very much, Jessica, for coming, and I'm a big fan of your books.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've